Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I have tried to learn how to say thank you in Thai a number of times, but I'm still afraid to say it because I don't want to say it wrongly. So I can only do this. Yeah, thank you so much for your time and listening to me. I'll try to make, I hope I'll say something useful. So bear with me. Okay. I believe we understand this. People are talking about 70% of knowledge comes from experiential learning, and then 20% we can learn through develop socially again from each other, and then when we go to work, actually, we retain only about 10% from what we learn from the school. So it is very important that we give experiential learning as early as possible to our students. Okay, because I think time has changed. I have been to many, many countries talking about the same topic about education, and I've seen a lot of countries are changing. A lot of countries are in the process of changing. How to change, I'm not so sure if they know exactly, because everybody agrees that education has been one of the slowest change in terms of using technology. Okay, we still go to school for 4 years for bachelor and so on and so on. Well, the whole thing has changed. Content is no longer a king because we are always reusing the same content. We are always making the same content because actually content is already there. Why do we have to remake the same content? So we should really save our time by not doing too much of the creating of material, but maybe we try to change ourselves, becoming a orchestrator, becoming a facilitator, because the content, our students today, they really learn, you know, every time when you try to show something to a student that they already know, they become bored. Today's student is so demanding. Okay, if you show them some PowerPoint about some theory that they can find in the internet, they will not listen too much to you. They will just go to their website because they know that when they go home, they can find a lot more than what you say out in the screen. So how do we change this? How do we make them change? How do we get them excited? So I think through experiential learning is one of the ways. I'm not saying this is the only ways. Maybe there are other ways, yeah? But maybe you can think about doing experiential learning, which we find out very good. We find from our experience for the last 6 years, we found so many students have used experiential learning, and we found they're very excited. In fact, I'll show you some video later. You can see their focus, the student, the way they focus. It's just amazing. Okay, well, let me just start. So, MonsoonSIM, we are actually responsible for this bit, the lower bit, and we are building a platform so that we can give it to business schools so the business school can then deliver it to the student. Okay, so this is the difference between MonsoonSIM and other game. The other game, there are many games out there. You can develop a game and they can download and play. No, that's not what we are. We are developing a platform so that we can pass it to the school so that the school can deliver it to the student. Okay? So you will never find MonsoonSIM in a Google App Store, no. Because we are actually going through the school. Okay? So that's one difference. Okay, so let me just go into the detail a little bit. What is the design principle of our game? I think that is important. Because without the design principle, we will go wild. A game is not a best practice. A game can go wild very easily. Okay? So there is no two games that are the same because, our mind is creative. So what I'm sharing is the principle of our game. Okay? Maybe if you like to develop your own game, that's fine, but maybe you can. This is our design principle, so I'm sharing it. So maybe one day, if your school want to develop your own game, that's fine. Maybe you can take a look at our principle and have your own principle, okay? So this is our principle. Number one, It has to be fun, for sure. A game will not be a game if it is not fun. Everybody likes to be fun. Everybody loves fun. So when you have fun, then your mind is acceptable to new things. If you're not fun, if you're stressful, I read a lot of people, a lot of boys, a lot of students in Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, there are a lot of suicide. To me, it's very sad. Why must you kill yourself to learn something? It doesn't make sense. Something is wrong. Yeah, I think we are the way we teach them is something is wrong. They shouldn't be sad. They shouldn't be suicide. They shouldn't be stressed. It has to be fun. Okay, so learning has to be fun. So we have to make our game fun. Number one. Number two, it has to be intuitive. If you write a game and then you have to write a user guide, you are wrong. I mean, the game will not work. Our student today will not like anything to read. If you give them something to read to prepare for the game, they got stressed. They got stressed. They say, something I have to read, I have to prepare, I have to do this, I have to learn how to click. No, we cannot have anything like a user guide. That's why MonsoonSIM never have any book. We never have any guidebook. We don't have any user guide and how to play, how to do, never. We have zero. So we go to a university. Sometimes the university say, can you show me your user guide? Really, I'm sorry, we don't have a user guide because there is no need to guide. The student should look and know how to play. If they don't know, it's our failure. Please tell me, and we will change our game to make it more intuitive. So intuitive is definitely, absolutely. I keep telling all my staff and all that, if you hear that our university has some problem running the game, please let me know. We will fix it. We cannot have any game that is hard to play. It has to be intuitive, okay? No need to tell them anything. Okay, that's one. Then we have to be educational. Okay, so we have to decide, we have to be educational. We have to be, we cannot, so game is just our front end, but behind our game, it's really educational. Because we are actually, we are not playing game just for game. Okay, so we don't give our student a lot of strange things like, suddenly the business environment change, suddenly there is a storm here. We can do that and make it more difficult, but it's not our point. Our point is to educate them. So we want to keep it fun. We want to keep the constraint there, like the cash, not enough warehouse, not enough stock. Yes, but we don't want to scare them, like, suddenly there's a monster coming. No, that's not our point. We are not designing for gaming, but we have an educational purpose. And then it has to be sustainable design architecture. It's very important to have a good architecture when you design a game, because the game has to go from point 1 to point 2, point 3, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, and it has to be increasingly difficult, because your students, suddenly they realize that, okay, I learned this, but what is next? There's a lot of what next. So you have to have next for them. You have to give the environment more difficult. If they start with a small company, become trading companies, manufacturing company, then they go to enterprise, then they go into IPO, and then they have to understand how to manage their company, such a big company. Those are coming, and it has to be in a roadmap of your design. So it has to be, the design architecture has to be very good. Then it has to be a focus. Again, I said earlier, game can be wild, okay? When you design a game, then there will be requests coming, can you make the game like this? Can you go into that? Can you go into this? You have to really focus. Where are we going? You want to be ERP, business, keep it on ERP and business. Don't suddenly go into law, go into something, medical. No, you have to keep it focus, all right? Then, one thing very important. Again, we don't design games so that we can give it to the student to play. No, we have to develop it so that it's integratable to your curriculum. We have to bring it to school so that the school can bring it to the student. So it has to be integratable. And then, again, it has to be for educators. Okay, so because if we want to disrupt this education industry, you cannot just disrupt it, like suddenly develop an app and then everybody don't go to school anymore. It doesn't work like that. Yeah? I think the school is still a very important place where you have social learning through each other, you have a certain form of guideline and the teacher and all the structure is very good. But if you want to disrupt this education industry, you cannot do without the university. You have to build it for the university so the university can change, transform themselves. And evolving concept. Again, the concept has to be evolving. You don't give them difficult thing, like for example, we don't give them accrual accounting right from the beginning. You give them cash-based accounting. Yeah, so they learn how to cash-based, they understand. It's easier for them to understand. And then you give them the more advanced version. Okay, how about accrual accounting? What about vendor credit limit? What about this? What about that? Give them some analytic. And then you have to make it so that evolve. Some student that's already very good in that, they can study more. There is a lot of knowledge in MonsoonSIM, like 200 something knowledge, but we never show it. We do not tell our student that, you know what, you come to this game, you will learn 200 concepts. No, we never say that. We say just play a game. Now, once they play the game, they will ask for more. They will say, how about this? And then you say, you know what, it's already there. Go find it. It's there. So they then discover, oh yeah, you're right, it is there. Then you tell them that, do you know that the reason behind this is there? Then they say, no, I don't think so, but go check it out. And then when they found out, so when they dig further, they'll discover more. And they say, I see, now I see. That is learning. That is where they learn. When they play the game, they learn. Because, so if you tell them right away, I have 200 concepts, again, they stress out. They say, no, I cannot take all this. You know? But you let them discover, you let them ask for it. So this is the design principle behind the game. So if you don't mind, I share some video, very short one. Just please pay attention to the focus of the student. Okay, how the student focus. We don't. No one is looking at their mobile phone. Yeah, it's very focused. And that's how they learn. Imagine if they're in a stressful situation. Absolutely, they won't do this. If you give them a learning that is very stressful, they're not going to be that focused. And they can do this for hours. From morning until afternoon. They can do this. They can learn without break. Because it's so exciting, they want to learn. Okay? So this is just one video. And this is Singapore National University of Singapore. And just... Okay, so it's just, I think we have got that. I think we have just about 5 minutes more, so I'm just going to cover a little bit more on the top part. So we have this design principle, then we build something for you guys. So what do we build for business school? We build environment, management, and then we have simulation, configuration, and education tool. Let's see what happens. So we will teach you how to manage the player and the team. We'll give you assessment, online assessment. We'll have timing and tempo, so you know how to do this. And then we have certification. I'm sure Dr. Eka Anong, you are very familiar with this now. Okay, we give you all this. And then this is the simulation configuration. So this is where we are right now, MonsoonSIM. Number one, we have departmental concept. We start from the very bottom. So that means we have 12 departments in the business. So we have logistic, warehouse, manufacturing, all the way to human resource and service management, 12 business process. Then we give you machine. So that means you have to have an understanding of what is asset. Big asset called machine. What is your capacity? So we start introducing. So we have a concept of machine. We have concept of currency. We have concept of banks. We have concept of warehouse, retail, location of those places. We have concept of employees, which is very important because employees is part of any business. We have to understand that, right? HR, employee, recruitment, transfer, counseling, yeah, resign, and so on. Yes, competency, very important. And then we have the concept of customer, of course, because business has to have customer. And every customer have their own characteristic that you build into the game where you can configure. You can configure one to be a very good customer and the other one will be a little bit late paying customer. You can do this just to let the student learn. And then you have the concept of supplier. Of course, in a business, you always have supplier and customer. And then you have the concept of products and then you have a concept of services. So we have all this concept all in. You're waiting for you to configure. So you can configure it. How do you want to play the game? You want to configure it into a very difficult logistic game, or you want to have a very simple trading game, or a very simple manufacturing game, up to you. So we have all this for you. You just configure them. All right? Then we also have this education tool, which means that you can share your configuration with each other. So for example, Dr. Eka Enong maybe can design the configuration and share with someone in London. And someone in London, professor, can share it with someone in America. No problem, you can share your configuration. And you have this game live observation, so you can observe the game live so that you can monitor the student progress. And then you have this micro concept, micro teaching, which means that everything, it can break down to a micro concept. So if we talk about accounting, we can break it down to many, many micro concepts. So you can, so in case your student wants to know the micro, you don't have to tell them the micro. Again, MonsoonSIM has a lot of concept, but we don't show it. So when the student asks, then you say, okay, I'll show you a very good micro video, micro concept. What is AP? Then you show them the AP. Or what is credit terms? Then you show them the credit terms. So there's a lot of micro concept hidden behind this so that you can bring it out when you need it. Okay? So it's just a tool for you. Okay. That's it. So this is micro learning. We have something like, just show you an example. What is account payable? What is account receivable? What is asset? How do you dispose your asset? How do you book it into your book? Okay, and what is average costing? How is the costing of the product put in your business? And what is profit margin? And all of that means what is accounting. Okay, so again, you can start with having a fun game, but then you can go into the detail if the student wants it. And we have so many micro teachers, I don't even want to go into the detail. There's a lot there, but it's just hidden there. You only bring it out when you need it, yes? Okay, that's it. So this is micro-learning, and then you can do workshop, and then you can do game, and of course you can do competition. Okay, I don't want to go through the detail, but then you can do competition. So in summary, MonsoonSIM, we develop a platform. We have all this thing ready to you. We have about 6 years now, it's version 5. What you need to do is you need to take it, what we try to do is we try to bring it to the university so the university can configure them and deliver it to the student, okay? Okay, so that's all I have. Thank you so much.